6 years ago, I had never made a game before, never programmed a game, never made game art. I had absolutely no idea what I was doing, but I decided I was going to make a game and release it on Steam. And I gave myself 6 months to do it. Sounds reasonable, right? Hey everybody, my name is Jacob. I make weird indie games after work, and 6 years ago I was hell-bent on making my first Steam game. And it was going to be about a bass guitar swinging monkey. Why? Well, as a kid I loved drawing monkeys, and I played bass guitar. So naturally, Bass Monkey. That's the entire backstory. So here I am, a 20-something scrub with a full-time job. Wanted to make a video game, but I had no idea where to start. So I googled how to make a game, and I found something called Game Maker. Seems promising. It had game making right in the name, and Game Maker had this thing called GML Visual, which is a visual programming language where instead of writing traditional code, you connect together these little blocks. Perfect. Seems fun. Because even though I'd done a little programming before, I'd never programmed a video game. So I follow a tutorial to make this, my own version of Asteroids. Then I follow this other tutorial to make this 2D side-scroller. Then I realize, wait, I could just build on top of this. I might actually be able to do this thing. There was just one problem. I also couldn't draw. So I figure, okay, I gotta learn art now, I guess. I compile some references and envision a 2D platformer like Kirby, a really musically inspired cast of characters, and a jungle-like environment. And then I get doodling with some old pencil on paper. And then I just start drawing everything. Bass monkey, hamster fans, plants, a jungle background, which sucks, so I draw another jungle background. And then I start to get some hope. I was making some real progress. Remember those nice little visual programming blocks? Well, they weren't so little anymore, because I was trying to build basically the entire game without writing traditional code. I did eventually paste in a few little snippets of actual GML when I absolutely had to, but this was how almost the entire game was built. Like, what is this? And it turns out it's really hard to program an entire game like this. Or maybe I just suck at programming logic, but either way, I soldier on. Eventually, I had working physics, collisions, enemies, movement. I was reading books about game design and adding all these little details to make the movement feel juicy. Things were going suspiciously well, so naturally, I added multiplayer. Big mistake. Apparently there's this thing called scope creep in games, and I got hit hard. This was my first ever game, and now I was programming multiplayer, which included a new camera system, a controller input system, and basically repurposing all of my code blocks. This was insane. I can't believe I did this. It was already like 4 months into the project, but I kept going. I made a panda character playable with his own unique set of attacks, similar to Bass Monkey, but I didn't stop there. I wanted to make a game where the gameplay was tied to the music in some way. So I did that. When the music hits certain beats, the hamsters jump or attack in coordination. Pretty cute. At this point, it had been about 8 months, and I didn't even have a full playable level yet. But I'm feeling good, right? Feeling accomplished. So I dove into the sound design and decided to make all the sound effects by hand. Alright, so this part was completely unnecessary, but I loved it. I decided every sound effect would start with something I recorded myself. Monkey hits, me knocking on my guitar. Banana, my wife saying. Electricity, that's just me going into a microphone. Because apparently I hadn't given myself enough work, I wrote 5 original songs too, all made with my bass guitar and electric guitar. And these weren't little background loops either. I made full 3-minute songs. Was that necessary? Absolutely not. But I was having fun. I love music, and this was truly enjoyable for me. And then I looked at the calendar. Remember my 6-month deadline? Yeah. So I decided it's time to finish the damn game. I actually found this note I wrote at the time. Check in. It's been about 9 months. I'm feeling confident. I have a lot of work behind me and planning on fully shipping in 4 months' time. Boy, was I wrong. Month 10, Steam capsule art. Month 11, all the UI. Month 12, main menu. Which actually turned out pretty sick, honestly. Month 13, more enemies. Month 14, mini boss. Month 15, My development notes literally just say, make it less frustrating. Month 16, giant hamster mech. And then I spent 2 more months polishing. But after 18 months, I actually did it. When I started, I'd never made a game. I'd never programmed a game. I'd never made game art. Somehow, using this incredibly ridiculous tower of programming blocks, I shipped the game on Steam. It wasn't a huge success. It took me 3 times longer than I thought it would, and I made about 1,000 mistakes along the way. But it completely changed my life. Because after Base Monkey, I just kept making games. Base Monkey's free on Steam if you want to experience this monstrosity yourself, and I'm still making weird games after work 6 years later, so subscribe if you want to see what I make next. Thanks for watching. Till next time.